Okay guys, I got an announcement to make. We're heading back. Our wind instrument's not working.
That's hooray.
That's a hooray? You guys want to go back?
Yeah.
They want to see Debbie and Cody and the dogs.
Yes, they have a really hard time saying goodbye.
2.5 hours after leaving the marina, we found our wind instrument continued to give us problems, not reading proper wind angles with the wind speed intermittently cutting in and out. This would be a broad reach angle right here.
Like beam.
Wind vane is right behind us, but it does not go all the way around.
Now one of our holding tanks light won't go off even though it's been drained. The wind instruments are a lot more important. The only thing is, I mean, we could go without it as is because we can always see wind direction from looking up.
We might never get it repaired in the Bahamas because it sounds like they don't have the facilities there to look into this. So we should just get it fixed,
Here.
have it working and going. So we're heading back. We went out a couple miles and turning back.
Go through all those damn bridges again.
We'll be really good at going through those bridges. It's December 10th, so getting up towards Christmas. We'll see if we can make it out of Florida before Christmas.
It's disappointing. We're just lucky Loggerhead is able to accommodate us and have space for us.
Yeah, we're excited to leave. A little anxious, a lot of planning. Got everything all packed up, things are ready to go, but boat's not quite ready to go yet.
So, safety first. And, yeah.
We're at West Marine.
Slow marine.
This must be the 20th time we've been here. We've been here a lot.
1,100,000.
Yeah. We talked to Just Catamarans this morning, and fortunately they're able to send some people over this afternoon to check things out. But in the meantime, I'm going to buy a wind instrument, and that'd be great if that was just the fix and it was easy as that. We just swap it out. You think that'd be nice?
Mm-hmm.
What else are we doing this morning?
Haircut.
And we're very long overdue for a haircut. Look at this. Look at Everett. Okay, a lot of good stuff here. Where is it? Got a bean haircut. Cheese. How's it look?
Good.
3 of them? 8 o'clock, I just arrived at our favorite store, West Marine. This may be the last trip, but I've said that this is my last time to West Marine, I think 10 trips ago. The situation changes quite rapidly. We're looking for a weather window to go down to Bimini. We have our wind instrument replaced and everything seems to look okay and we're good to go. That did delay us several days and we're looking for the next best time to go. And of course, the weather is more unpredictable this time, more squally. There's a front coming in, wind straight from the south today and tomorrow, which makes it a little more difficult to go down to Miami.
Yeah, you spend as much time here as I do.
It sure seems like that. Looking for a caulk or Sika Flex material to hold our window together. One of the seals of the weather stripping has debonded, so I'm just gonna patch that up. This is the stuff I need. Sika UV, got black. Let's get 2 of those. And get a white one just in case, you just never know. Okay, I just wanted to give you guys a chain update. About a month or month and a half ago, we laid out all the chain and painted it. We have since gone out and anchored about 5 nights, and this is what our chain looks like now. So you can see that the paint actually didn't hold very well. This going on top of our bow roller has flaked off the paint quite a bit, and in fact this twist eye here has actually jammed up and had caused a circuit breaker to trip and cut out our windlass. So the cable ties are not the best solution either. Now that I have the anchor chain marked off, we're at a marina. We have rinsed the chain off several times with fresh water, and I'm just going to repaint it. I think I'm going to put a couple more zip ties in as well, just so that we can have the center part of the chain marked. The paint doesn't look like it's going to be working very great. We'll see how those zip ties work for marking, see if we can see those, or otherwise we'd be looking at those little plastic inserts that go in between the chains. We would get a chain counter. We've heard variable things about that. Sometimes that doesn't work very well. We actually ordered it for our boat, but it turns out that they were out of stock and couldn't be installed on our boat anyways at the time. So maybe that'll be something for next year. Ready, Everett?
Mom's taking forever. Mommy, what
That's okay, we're on track. The bridge is not going to open anyways.
We have to wait till 11:30 for the bridge now.
The wind will push the bow off this way. We just have to watch the stern, make sure we have clearance off of El Jefe, and then we should be good to go. Okay. Okay. So the wind's really blowing. Get the line off. Good, we're off. Good. Here we are, heading out. Feels good. What time is it? 11:09. We should make the bridge, no problem. What you working on, Everett?
Coloring.
All right, we're going into Port Everglades, and then we're gonna take a turn, head south. The wind looks like it's 8.3 knots right now. Close the hatches and the doors, and motor right into it. So these are the conditions just right outside of Port Everglades. The winds are about 10 to 15 knots, more so 15. And with us cruising at about 5 to 6 knots, we're getting apparent winds of about 18 so far. We have done this before, and we have been in this sea condition in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Our very first passage was very much like this. Is it any better? Not yet.
Then maybe.
It'll get out a little bit more. How are you feeling, Piggy? These seas are too rough to drink and we're not feeling well enough. Feeling any better up here?
Just need to throw up and I'll feel better.
Okay, this is Miami Channel, almost there. So wind picking up a little bit, 13 knots, heading right at us. We're about an hour away from Noname Harbor. Woo! 15 minutes to Biscayne Channel. How long was that, 5 hours? Not as wavy anymore, we're still heading right into the wind. Wind has died down to about 10 knots, so we're hoping the anchorage tonight will be calm as well. Kids seem to be feeling better. Sierra is still laying down the whole time. Everett's looking at a book, coloring book.
That's right.
You can see the moon.
What's that? No, it's this up.
We've been here before, so we know what this place is like. A lot of boats anchored over there, and we are going to join them. How's the anchor look, Shannon?
I think it's okay. I think I can probably let the bridle out a bit more because it's slipping back.
Let's see what this looks like.
Flipped again, honestly. Okay, this has to go up.
We did it!
We're here.
Jingle made it.
Jingle hung on. Sierra, how are you feeling?
Good.
Your stomach feels icky or it feels okay?
It feels icky.
We're just outside of Miami in a place called
Noname Harbor.
Noname Harbor, anchored right
How
outside
come you
there.
can't just call it harbor?
Because there's lots of different harbors today.
Yeah, but this one has no name.
Yeah, it has no name. And what'd you think of the sail down here? We actually just motored the whole way.
Not very good. My stomach hurt pretty much most of the way.
Oh, did you eat anything?
Well, I pretty much skipped breakfast and lunch.
Me too. I didn't have breakfast or lunch. How did you find the trip?
I don't like it.
Did you have a sore tummy?
Yeah. I feel like slimy.
Slimy? Yeah, it doesn't feel very good. That night, I broke out the navigation set and tried to recall my coastal navigation courses that I took over 10 years ago to prepare for the Gulf Stream crossing the next day. The Gulf Stream is a fast-moving current that one must cross when sailing between Florida and the Bahamas. Wind conditions must be right and ideally absent of any northern component to avoid uncomfortable and possibly dangerous standing waves. The distance between Noname Harbor, where we were at, to Bimini, our destination, is approximately 45 nautical miles. We cruise at approximately 6 knots, so it would take us conservatively 8 hours to cross. The Gulf Stream current moves north at an average speed of 2.5 knots, meaning our drift would be approximately 20 nautical miles. Our departure coordinates at Noname Harbor is here, and Bimini is here. Factoring the 20 nautical mile drift, our bearing should point to us here. Using a chart protractor, I determined the heading to be 109 degrees true, with the magnetic variation being approximately 8 degrees. Our course to steer would be 117 degrees magnetic. The wind forecasted during our crossing is 15 to 20 knots from 165 degrees true, which would give us an apparent wind speed of approximately 21 to 22 knots from an angle of 36 degrees. What this means is that we will be sailing to wind, but the wind angle will allow for us to put up sails. Forecasted waves is 5 feet with a period of 7 seconds. Doable, but not comfortable. I know people cross the Gulf Stream all the time, but given that this is our first important passage, we were definitely nervous. 6:10 a.m. on Thursday morning. We are headed out to the Gulf Stream for our trip down to Bimini. Sunrise should be in about half an hour. The winds are pretty high, it's 20 knots. Forecast is about 15 to 20 knots. Not ideal conditions. Perfect conditions would be probably 10 knots or 0 knots just to motor. But for our weather window, we considered going later tonight, which would be a backup option if the weather is too rough, or just canceling our trip altogether. So we're gonna poke our noses out into the Gulf Stream and have a look. Our engines are working well. We have our Reef 2 set and ready to go in case we do want to put up the sails. Jack lines in for what it's worth, and also our tethers, which we're hoping not to need, but just in case. Anchor is up and we're now exiting through the channel. So what would you say this is? 3 to 6 feet?
At least.
The period is about 3 to 5 seconds. Every minute or so we get a bigger wave, bounces the boat up and down. Our heading is 117. You see that takes us south of Bimini, but we're accounting for the Gulf Stream to put us north towards Bimini. We're just heading out of Florida right now. Well, what do you think?
I think it's ridiculous.
So we should turn back?
I don't want to turn back. Might as well just plow through and get there, so get this over with.
Okay. Well, this is
Just what sailing is like, I guess. Let's get it over with.
everyone else who watch on YouTube, they've had flat crossings. So this is what it is today. The alternative is we go back in tonight and then leave after sunset. The waves should be down a little bit. The wind is maybe a little lighter and it's not going to be right on the nose. So it would be smoother, but that means going overnight.
And that means having to go back and do this all over again.
That means we go back in and then we come back out. So I think if we're feeling okay, we can continue on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine to suffer through.
Current wind angle is about 45 degrees or so. We're in the Gulf Stream, 1.3 knots of current heading north. Our time to go is about 9 hours, and TA is about 4 p.m. We could probably put out some sails, but I'm not sure if I should ask Shannon about that. Hi, Beanie. Want to have a sip and come upstairs with Dad? It feels better up there. Okay? Turn back or continue?
Again.
It's safe, but it's going to be very uncomfortable. Kind of like this. Got these sides together.
Do you think you can get us there yourself?
I think we get it. I think we get there.
You want to give me a nod or not? Okay. Strong boy. Siwa, how are you feeling? How's your tummy?
I'm feeling a little better now since I threw up.
8 a.m. in the morning now. I don't think the waves have gotten any better. They're probably the same or a little bit.
That was worse than
Steeper.
yesterday.
Steering at 117 magnetic. Looks like my course is gonna be south of Bimini, so I'm gonna head up and see if we will have a better wind angle. That does mean that the waves will be right on our beam. We'll see what that looks like. We have put out our sails. We've got 2 reefs in the main, a little bit of jib out as well. Our speed seems to be good. It's 5 knots, sometimes going to 6 knots. We turned off 1 engine. Seem okay?
Better,
It's better?
a little more stable. It's still rough, but a little more stable.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm starting to feel a little bit queasy, so I'll have to keep my eyes on the horizon. What makes this sail difficult is the waves and the short period of the waves. We're just getting rocked around quite a bit. Boat is holding together pretty well though. Sail seems to be fine, the hardware is fine. It's just not very comfortable at all. Whew, this is rough. Has everyone puked yet? Sierra hasn't, she's just laying down inside. The period of the waves are 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. It's like 3 to 5 seconds or less. We are sailing, the sails definitely held. We have 1 engine on. The winds are getting stronger. We are past our halfway mark finally. Our time to go is about 2 hours, 45 minutes. Seas are still quite rough. Really no change. I don't think it's any better. It seems a little worse. We may be getting used to a bit more, trusting the boat. The Gulf Stream is actually pushing us at 3.7 knots, which has changed our course a little bit. I'm just going to keep the same heading. I don't really want to head into the waves or wind any further. Our speed fluctuates between 6 knots and 7 knots. It's really nice to see 7 knots occasionally. Stomachs aren't feeling so good. Sierra was the last person standing and she threw up just a little bit ago.
so no. Not doing this anymore. So the sail home itself is worth wanting. Rick's puked all over that step. Okay. Cover it. Yeah.
We've got 1 hour left, just shy of 1 hour. It's been a long trip, and the end is nearly in sight. We can see land. The Gulf Stream current has really picked up to 4 knots at one point, closer towards the island of Bimini, which I didn't expect. It was 2 knots or less than 2, closer towards Florida. So you can see from our track line that we have gone north of our intended track over to Bimini. We're trying to compensate by steering down a bit more. Okay, we're about 1.5 nautical miles out from Bimini. We're going to take down our sails and start motoring in. We'll see you on the inside. Here's the welcoming committee at Browns Marina.
Yep.
Thank you.
Browns Marina. Welcome
First
to
time.
Bimini. Welcome to Browns
Welcome.
Marina.
Would not be allowed.
How are you feeling, Bean? You okay? Feeling better?
Like you had a bad ride.
Okay. I think the euphemism for what we experienced is a salty or sporty sail. Looking back, I'm really proud of our family, not just for making it through this passage, but for all the hard work that it took to get us here. We checked into the country and started feeling much better. During the passage, our fresh water pump had stopped working. The floors of Happy Seas were sticky with not only salt water but also vomit that was tracked around. I couldn't go to sleep before trying to fix this.